Ecclesiastes 7:1 through 9:18. A good name is better than fine perfume the day of one's birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, since that is the end of all mankind. When a face is sad, a heart may be glad. The heart of the wise is in pleasure. It is better to listen to rebuke from a wise person than to listen to the song of fools. For like the crackling of burning thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This too is futile. Surely the practice of extortion turns a wise person into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the mind. The end of a matter is better than its beginning. A patient spirit is better than a proud spirit. Don't let your spirit rush to be angry, for anger abides in the heart of fools. Don't say, "He's better than these," since it is not wise of you to ask this. Wisdom is as good as an inheritance and an advantage to those who see the sun. Protection as silver is protection, but the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of its owner. Consider the work of God, for who can straighten out what he has made crooked? In the day of prosperity, God has made the one as well as the other, so that no one can discover anything that will come after him. In my futile life, I have seen everything. Righteous perishes in spite of his righteousness, and someone wicked lives long in spite of his evil. Don't be excessively righteous, and don't be destroy yourself. Don't be excessively wicked, and don't be foolish. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you grasp slip from your hand, for the one who fears God will end up with both of them. Wisdom makes the wise person stronger than 10 rulers of a city. One righteous on the earth who does good and never sins. Don't pay attention to everything people say, or you may hear your servant cursing you, that many times you yourself have cursed others. I have tested all this by wisdom. I resolved, I will be. What exists is beyond reach and very deep. Who can discover it? I turned my thoughts to know, explore, and examine wisdom and an explanation for things, and to know that wicked. And I find more bitter than death the woman who is a trap, her heart a net and her hands chains. The one who sinner will be captured by her. Look, says the teacher, I have discovered this by adding one thing to another to find out the explanation, which is for, but does not find. I found one person in 1,000, but none of those was a woman. Only see this, I have discovered that God made people upright, but they pursued many schemes. Who is like the wise person, and who knows the interpretation of a matter? A person's wisdom brightens his face, and the sternness of his face is changed. Keep the king's command because of your oath made before God. Do not be in a hurry. Leave his presence, and don't persist in a bad cause, since he will do whatever he wants. For the king's word is authoritative, and who can say to him, "What are you doing?" The one who keeps a command will not experience anything harmful, and a wise heart knows the right time and procedure. For every activity there is a right time and procedure, even though a person's troubles are heavy on him. Yet no one knows what will happen, because who can tell him what will happen? No one has authority over the wind to restrain it, and there is no authority over the day of death. No one is discharged during battle, and wickedness will not allow those who practice it to escape. All this I have seen, applying my mind to all the work that is done under the sun, at a time when one person has authority over another to his harm. In such circumstances, I saw the wicked buried. They came and went from the holy place, and they were praised in the city where they did those things. An evil act is not carried out quickly, The heart of people is filled with the desire to commit evil. Although a sinner does evil 100 times, I also know that it will go well with God-fearing people, for they are reverent before him. However, it will not go well with the wicked, and they will not lengthen their days like a shadow, for they are not reverent before God. There is a futility that is done on the earth. There are righteous people who get what the actions of the wicked deserve, and there are wicked people who get what the actions of the righteous deserve. I say that this too is futile. So I commend enjoyment, because there is nothing better for a person under the sun than to eat, drink, and enjoy himself, for this will accompany him in his labor during the days of his life that God gives him under the sun. When I applied my mind, even though one's eyes do not close in sleep day or night, I observed all the work of God and concluded that a person is unable to discover the work that is done under the sun. Even though a person labors hard to explore it, he cannot find it. Even if a wise person claims to know it, he is unable to discover it. Indeed, I took all this to heart and explained. People do not know whether to expect, love, or hate. Everything lies ahead of them. Everything is the same for everyone. There is one fate for the righteous and the wicked, for the good and the bad, for the clean and the unclean, for the one who sacrifices and the one who does not sacrifice. As it is for the good, so also it is for the sinner. As it is for the one who takes an oath, so also for the one who fears an oath. This is an evil in all that is done under the sun. There is one fate for everyone. In addition, the hearts of people are full of hearts while they live. After that, they go to the dead. But there is hope for whoever is joined with all the living, since a lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead don't know anything. There is no longer a reward for them. Their love, their hate, and their envy have already disappeared. And there is no longer a portion for them in all. Eat your bread with pleasure, and drink your wine with a cheerful heart, for God has already accepted your works. Let your clothes be white all the time, and never let oil be lacking on your head. Enjoy life with the wife that has been given to you under the sun, all your fleeting days. For that is your portion in life and in your struggle under the sun. Whatever your hands find to do, do with all your strength, because there is no work, planning, knowledge, or wisdom in Sheol, where you are going. Again, I saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, or bread to the wise, or riches to the discerning, or favor to the skillful. Rather, time and chance happen to all of them. For certainly no one knows his time, like fish caught in a cruel net, or like birds caught in a trap. So people are trapped in an evil time as it suddenly falls on them. I have observed that this also is wisdom under the sun, and it is significant to me. There was a small city with few men in it. A great king came against it, surrounded it, and built large siege works against it. Now a poor wife, yet no one remembered that poor man. And I said, wisdom is better than strength, but the wisdom of the poor man is disputed. The calm words of the wise are heeded more than the shouts of a ruler over fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, much good. Second Corinthians 7, verses 8 through 16. For even if I grieved you with my letter, I don't regret it. And if I regretted it, since I saw that the letter grieved you, yet only for a while, I now rejoice, not because you were grieved, but because your grief led to repentance. For you were grieved as God willed, so that you didn't experience any loss from us. For godly grief produces a repentance that leads to death. For consider how much diligence this very thing, this grieving as God wills, has produced in you. What a desire to clear yourself, what fear, what deep longing, what zeal, what justice. In every way you showed yourselves to be pure in this matter. So even though I wrote to you, it was not because of the one who did wrong, or because of the one who was wrong, plain to you in the sight of God. For this reason we have been comforted. In addition to our own comfort, we rejoiced even more over the joy Titus had, because his spirit was refreshed by all of you. For if I have made any boast to him, but as I have spoken everything to you in truth, so our boasting to Titus has also turned out to be in truth. And his affection remembers the obedience of all of you, and how you received him with fear and trembling. I rejoice that I have complete confidence in you. Proverbs 22, verses 17 through 19. Listen closely. Pay attention to the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge. For it is pleasing if you keep them within you, and if they are constantly on your lips. May be in the Lord.